Hello, my name is William Della Costa, and this is my final project on criminal law. The first slide has to do with civil and criminal proceedings. Criminal proceedings have to deal with people who have actually broken the law. And then there's civil proceedings that are about solving the issues amongst people who haven't broken the laws, usually some sort of legal feud, such as if two parents were fighting over child custody. Then that would be considered a civil proceeding, not a criminal one, because neither of them are criminals. The next one is on procedural and substantive due process. Procedural due process are claims based on the absence of fair procedures. For example, if you were trying to arrest someone for no reason, then you would have no fair right to do that because there was no justification. And you need to go through proper steps before you can actually arrest someone. Then there's substantive due process, which makes sure the punishment received is justified. So if you're being charged for something and you're given a punishment that's way more cruel than what you actually did, then it would be considered unjustified and go against substantive due process. The next one is the legacy of common law and modern jurisprudence. The earliest source of criminal law originated in England, and it was comprised by the judges and the kings, and it was known as common law. And after the American Revolution, when America became an independent country, these laws were altered by the American people because they wanted American laws and not English ones, which led to modern jurisprudence. The next slide is on constitutional case statute laws. Constitutional laws protect your basic rights as an American citizen and have everything to do with the United States Constitution. Then there's case laws. It's another term for common law, which was the first type of criminal law developed in England. Then there's statutory laws. They were made by the legislative branch, and they've actually taken a lot of the common laws that used to exist, and they significantly altered or added stuff to them and even outright removed some of them. The next slide is on ex post facto laws. Laws that punish people who have broken the laws before they were laws in the first place. And an example of this would be, hypothetically, let's say wearing socks with sandals was against the law. Well, if you were wearing them and before that became a law and you were punished for that, that'd be considered an ex post facto law. And that would be forbidden by the United States Constitution. The next one is the burden of proof. It is a claim that requires factual evidence that can't be denied in order to be true. For example, if, let's say, a defendant was on trial and they claimed that they weren't accountable for whatever happened and they were innocent, and the prosecutor can't just claim, oh, you're lying. They actually have to give factual proof that can't be denied and beyond any disagreement for it to actually be considered proof. And that's pretty much the burden of proof. Then there's the legal element of crimes. Actus reus, which is a guilty act. So someone has to be completely conscious and aware that they're committing that crime to fall under actus reus. Mens reus is a guilty mind, which means you're completely aware that what you're doing is morally wrong. Then there's concurrence, which is both mens reus and actus reus. Then there's causation, which means you need to be the legal cause for whatever crime happened to be charged for causation. Then there's resulting injury. It was a plan to do something and it happened. So if you plan to rob a bank, you'll rob a bank. You plan to steal from someone's house, you steal from someone's house. The next one is on legal defenses. One of the first illegal defenses is affirmative defense, which is claiming someone forced you to commit a crime. So if someone held a gun up to you and said, do this or we'll kill you, then you can plead for affirmative defense because you had no choice in the matter. Then there is necessity, which is committing a crime because the harm that happened outweighed the harm that was avoided. So, for example, if someone pulled a knife on you and you had to defend yourself, and you ended up hurting that person who tried to kill you, then it would be justified because you could plead for necessity. But it will not justify if you actually take a person's life. Then there's immunity. It can't be held accountable for a violation of law. All right. The last slide is on the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments in the U.S. Constitution, and these have to do with the rights and liberties of United States citizens. And there's different ones, such as the First Amendment, which goes over the freedom of speech, press, and other situations. Then there's the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. Then the third, which is about soldiers not being able to quarter themselves in your houses without your consent, and so on. And that is my last slide. Thanks for watching. Bye.